Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom Black Manta. And this figure is probably, I would say ever since it leaked, has been the figure that I have been the most anticipated for McFarlane-wise for the year. Other than that one Cyborg Superman, which we still don't know if that was real or not. But the reason I'm so excited for this is because, well, one, in the movie, Black Manta was awesome, and I've always been a huge fan of Black Manta, so this also, with how comic accurate they went for his suit in the sequel, this fits so well into a comic display as well. So if you are someone that is looking to have both a movie and a comic display, you can definitely interchange this with those, or hell, you could buy two. But this figure is just so fun. I definitely want to do the torso mod for him to give him more range going forward, but everything else is just really great. The only gripe that I do have with this figure, though, is that he unfortunately doesn't come with any weapons. The ones that he has on him right now, I got this from a Loki, the comic book Diamond Select Loki, and then the Trident, which understandably the Trident came with King Kordax, that's part of this wave. But, it's the thing that Manta is using throughout the film, so it would have been cool if he would have come with something. And actually, I lied. There is another gripe that I have. And it actually has to do with the weapon holding hands, because he only comes with these hands, and these are just the tightest freaking hands in the entire world. And his fingers, they're small pieces of plastic that are kind of pointy, so they really just tear you apart when you're trying to get them in there. So I would recommend heating them up when you want to try to put weapons in his hands, because they can be a real pain in the ass. Just because he doesn't come with any weapons doesn't mean he doesn't come with any accessories, so let's get into those. He, of course, comes with the base stand that you can see on him, the standard DC one. We got the trading card, and then there's actually a flight stand that comes with him. But for, actual accessories, he comes with two blast effects, which, if my camera would focus. There we go. These are actually not half bad. I like them. They are pretty cool. I definitely think you could maybe put these on something else, but these pegs are really huge. And these just port into the back right here, like so. So let's just take this and just slot that in there, and it has a nice, very faint, but a nice little click. So the only thing that is unfortunate, I don't know if it is the case or if mine's just paint locked or something, but these unfortunately do not move. They don't, so you can't have him jutting out to the side or up or anything like that. And I did try to move it a little bit, but when I did, I could see that the plastic, or the quote unquote plastic, the rubbery kind of plastic, is starting to tear a little bit. So just be careful with that. I may try to poke around and see some other reviews and see if anyone else is having the same issue, or if they even are supposed to be articulated. So that's just something that I wanted to point out. And since we are talking about that, we might as well just get into the detail of the figure as well. And like I said, this figure is just damn near ripped right out of the comics. He's perfection when it comes to that. The only things that really make it go, oh, okay, so this isn't supposed to be a comic book figure, this is definitely supposed to be from the movie, is that he has that extra bit of detail. So there's a couple of little lines going on throughout his suit. Down here, the boots. He's got these sort of, I don't know exactly what these are. I'm not super familiar with diving suits, so I don't know what these are on the sides here, but these are really cool. The actual helmet has some more detail instead of it just being sort of a dome kind of thing. That's really the only thing, is that they added a little spruce as a detail. And one thing that actually, it's very clear in person, but it actually kind of looks better on camera, is he has some blue shading throughout, and it looks so nice. It adds that extra layer of depth to the just the all black bodysuit, which is really cool. And speaking of the actual added detail, he has a very fine, you can kind of see it on camera there, he has a very nice texture throughout the entirety of his undersuit, which is really cool. These are actually pliable up here too, so whenever we get into articulation, I'll show you exactly how much this head can move. The silver, chrome, whatever, looks really good on this as well. Same with the eyes. The eyes look so nice. If you catch them in the right light, you can see, I guess, maybe how they ported them in or something, because there's a little circle right there. I don't know how. You can kind of see it on camera there. There's a little weird circle in there, and I don't know. It kind of almost gives him the effect of eyes behind it, which is creepier than anything else. But it looks so good. He just looks so good. And his torso is also very, just jutting out to the side. Another gripe that I actually do have about this figure, he has a very, very wide stance. He can't put his legs together too much, which is unfortunate. But it's Black Manta. You're not going to have him in a vanilla pose. You're going to have him just decimating the Atlanteans on your shelf. So it's not too big of a deal in my opinion. And now taking a look at the articulation, let's pull him back a little bit. His head, you know, it's the standard McFarlane stuff that we're used to at this point, but range-wise can go up about there. You can't get too terribly much out of it, but with the torso, you can kind of get him into a, you know, swimming pose and whatnot. Can go all the way down, which is really cool. Got some nice tilt, rotation. Shoulders go out that far. Rotate all the way around. Of course, the kind of, you know, they're on the standard joint, so there is sort of a butterfly movement. Can go that far across. Got bicep swivel, double jointed elbows to go up that far. Standard joints, you know, at the wrist for McFarlane. As for his torso going forward, and I have made no modifications, so it can only go that far forward. Can go decently far back. Rotate, you know, twist, all that good stuff. As for his legs, they go out that far. Well, they go out a little bit farther, but the sort of rubber crotch piece kind of thing pushes in on them a little bit, so they kind of start to fight back a little bit. Can go forward and back about that far. He's got no real swivel or anything like that at that joint up in there. Double jointed knees, and then the standard ankle joints for McFarlane as well, you know, standard, all that. You can move it around, ankle pivot, kind of stuff like that. And of course, toe joint. And then here he is standing without the base stand, so I can just show you guys that he can stand. Of course, it did take me, you know, about 5 minutes to get him to actually stand because the McFarlane figures never want to stand when it comes to being on camera. But as soon as you get them off camera, you can get them into really cool poses and they can balance no problem. Because, like, for instance, I have a bunch of them just sitting off of screen right now, you know, in my review space, and they're all standing perfectly. But I bet you if I moved one of them and put them on camera, they're going to fall right over. And also, while we have him here, I'm going to show you guys how the jets actually look on the back here with the red detailing and whatnot, which looks really cool. Also forgot to mention the red on the inside, the sort of exhaust type thing for his blasts. And now onto some size comparisons. Here he is next to the standard Aquaman from the movie, and then the stealth suit Aquaman. And wow, I did not realize they are 2 different heights. That is real weird for it being, you know, both Jason Momoa. No, that explains so much as to why the proportions were kind of off to me on the stealth suit. But we'll go more in depth in that figures review. But that's crazy. Oh, and also, yes, this tore off on me. It was like barely holding on by a thread. I don't know what happened there, so I just tore it clean off to see what it would look like both ways. And I think that these little shoulder pads were unnecessary, but again, we'll go over that in that specific review. And then for the other figures from this wave/line, whatever you want to call it, here is King Kordax, and then the Target exclusive stealth, you know, starting to go invisible version of Aquaman, and these look pretty good as well. Obviously, same issue as the other stealth suit Aquaman. He's way too short, but King Kordax looks pretty good. I think, like, look-wise, I think these two are probably the best from the wave, just because McFarlane excels when it comes to kind of oddball designs, let's say. And I would say Manta definitely would qualify as an oddball design with that helmet and all that stuff. It's beautiful, but it's oddball in the best possible way. And if you did want to use him as your comic book Black Manta, I think this works as well. This Arthur is a little short, and I definitely have some plans to sort of mix and match here and make a comic book Aquaman out of this body. So we'll see how I end up going about that. If I do decide to do that, I will make a video on it, obviously. And I have a whole bunch of other McFarlane customs and stuff like that lined up, as well as reviews, so stay tuned for that on the channel. And you know what, we'll leave these in here just so you guys can kind of get the sense of what this is going to look like on your shelf in more depth while I talk about it. This figure, overall, great. I very much enjoy it. He has great posability. Fortunately, none of the joints or anything like that are stuck on mine or anything like that. I did have to wash the entire wave because has anyone else been having the issue with pretty much every McFarlane that they've gotten in the last year or so has been really, like, they have this weird sort of, they almost feel like the shock oil type. Like, whenever you get that on your hands and you're like, ugh, this just feels not sticky, but it feels greasy and kind of gross. I have had that issue with pretty much every McFarlane figure that I've gotten in the last year. And I don't know what's going on with that, and it's really irritating. And I just want to know if everyone else is having that issue or if I'm just insane. So yeah, let me know about that down in the comments. But this figure, he works perfectly with your comic or your movie display. I want to put him with my Legion of Doom so bad because we just also got the Sinestro, and I definitely will be taking a look at this guy unless you guys don't really care, or if what I feel like the statute of reviewing has been, you know, has passed on him. But this figure is so fun as well, and this Sinestro and this Black Manta and Lex Luthor and all that, getting them together, making a Legion of Doom. Ooh, that's awesome. I love that. I want a cheetah so bad. Just a whole bunch of other characters. Cause I got Bizarro too. Like, we've gotten so many different characters that are just perfect for the Legion of Doom, and I can't wait to get more. Because if I just got this figure, I'd be bummed out about the fact that he doesn't have any weapons. But if you got other Black Mantas, you can give him those. Like the DC Essentials, I bet he would look really good with those 2 swords. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.